So what is your favorite sport and why?
My favorite sport is hockey. I grew up playing hockey. Well, grew up playing hockey and baseball the most, but I'm Canadian, so I was born in Canada. I grew up in New York, but I just like I grew up playing hockey. It's my favorite sport. I love it.
I love that. So who's your favorite team?
I'm a Ranger fan, but I do enjoy watching great players play sometimes. So like Connor
Okay.
McDavid. So like I was watching when the Rangers were eliminated. I was watching the Oilers. They were pretty fun to watch. I love Connor McDavid.
Yeah, so you have a true love for the sport. It's not you're not gonna like be favorited towards a whole team or hate a team. You love the sport and seeing good
Right.
people play good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I was telling somebody, I was like, when you have a generational player like Connor McDavid, he has to win a championship. So as much as I love the Rangers, I was kind of rooting for the Oilers to win it all just because just because of that.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. So how long have you been on the fan funded platform?
It's been like 5 or 6 weeks.
5 or 6 weeks? That's awesome. Which account did you choose whenever you joined?
I mostly chose what you call the player account, I think it was called, or not the Blitz, the other one, whatever they call that.
And the player challenge?
Player challenge. A couple times I did the Blitz, but player challenge was the one that I mostly did.
Okay, cool. And how long did it take for you to receive your first like withdrawal?
I just got my first withdrawal yesterday.
Okay, awesome. So like 5-ish weeks is what I see. Can you give me like some background on how you initially got interested in sports picking?
I was in Atlantic City and I was with a friend for the weekend, and we, for fun, wanted to go to a sports book, and we didn't realize Atlantic City didn't have sports betting. So we made one of those offshore accounts I think they were in Costa Rica at the time, and we bet on football and watched some games that day.
That sounds like such a fun day.
It was in a hotel room. It wasn't so fun. Sorry, I'm like
Okay.
my eyes are darting because I'm watching the Met game, and I just got another payout from you guys. It's nice.
Awesome. There we go.
There you
On
go.
camera.
Good
I love
testimonial.
it. There we
Yeah.
go.
I'm sure you don't love it, but I love it.
Fair, very fair.
Uh,
Okay, so what did you find different about FanFunded compared to the other platforms that you've been using?
it's different. I mean, it's an interesting concept. In some ways, it's a little cheaper because, I mean, it depends what you're interested in, but it's a little cheaper in that, you don't have to, if you want to bet $1,000 on a game, you don't have to bet $1,000. You could leverage the money you guys give. So, it's a challenge. If you're good at sports betting, you can pass the challenges and then get a funded account. I was able actually, I was fortunate to get a funded account in the first shot. I went on like a
Okay.
good run of games. So like I passed the first challenge actually in one day, and then the second one took me like a week or two, and then I got the account and I screwed up and I lost it, and I tried again, and eventually I got paid out. So it takes time sometimes. Like you have to really be disciplined.
Yeah, and it
But,
takes a minute to, yeah.
but it's
But it was
possible. I'm up on you guys probably a few $1,000. Well, maybe now it's like 7 or 8,000. Yeah.
awesome.
In
Super
profit, in
awesome.
profit. But in order to get there, I did pay a bunch to get there. So like it's not just like you have to, like I made a bunch of accounts to do it. You fail some, you win some.
Yeah, that's how it goes. What is like, okay, what is the most attractive feature of fan funded in your opinion, or beneficial?
Well, you're leveraging someone else's money to bet. I mean, so if you do it right, you can leverage like I do the 10K accounts, you're able to leverage $10,000 if someone else is betting money to bet. So
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'd say that's the majority of what people think for sure.
yeah, I think that's your marketing pitch. Like I think that's
Yeah.
straightforward. I think.
Yeah. Get funded. Yeah. Sweat the game, not the risk. That total.
Exactly. I mean, there
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
risk, but it's a good tagline, but there is a risk.
yeah. Okay, so without revealing too much, tell me a little bit about your strategy.
Strategy is to leverage the $10,000.
So you're somebody who like you like to use the platform more because you are able to have a higher risk, essentially. Yeah. Like you can
Well,
make like
I'll tell you like this: to pass your challenges is not easy, right? So if you're gonna fail a lot and spend money to get there to get funded. So if you're then gonna at that point not and then you guys take 70% and then the government takes a bunch. So if you're not going to leverage the $10,000, it's pointless to do your system, right? Like I was almost ready to give it up on your system because it's like frustrating at times with that. So I figured out a way to just leverage your system, and that's what I'm trying to do.
okay, that makes sense. So that kind of leads into my next question. Since you joined FanFunded, have you noticed any significant changes in your sports picking strategy outside of like different platforms?
Yes. I'll tell you, yours is not just about sports betting, it's kind of a game. And so you have to kind of like let's say you're playing a board game or something, you have to like have a strategy to beat it.
Emphasizing on the strategy. I like it. Promise we're not doing this maliciously by by any
I
means. Yeah.
assume you are, but it's okay. It's cool. I agree to it.
Pretty obvious question, but still we'll ask it. What are the benefits of being bankrolled instead of putting up your own money?
Being able to leverage the someone else's money to make money. It's kind of like I view it as kind of like an option in the stock market. Because you're not just buying the stock, you're leveraging someone's money to put more than you have on the game.
I like that. I
So
like that.
so like I'm buying in for like two something, let's say, but if I get through it, I'm able to leverage $10,000 instead of the 200. So that's how I view it, your system.
Love that. Great answer. Let's talk about some of the picks that you've placed. Are you open to sharing any picks that you've placed that you've done really well on or done really
Um,
well on too, you know?
I mean, sure. Are you talking about specific picks? Because that I've done so many picks, but I mean, I generally just I look at the matchups, and then sometimes you have a gut feeling on things, and sometimes you have to get out of your head and remove your bias. So there are games that I've taken where you fall in love with a pick instead of like kind of going through your gut that something doesn't feel right about it. I trust my gut generally, but I'm not always good at like actually listening to it. Like I think my gut's right. I just don't always think I'm good at listening to it. I think it's true of everyone, not just me. I don't think I have a specifically amazing
I'm
like sense
guilty.
of.
I'm guilty. Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So do you bet also? Or are you saying in life?
Uh, um, I'm more of a horse racing better, but yeah,
Oh,
not yeah.
where are you based out of?
I'm based in Florida, but I'm from Kentucky, so
There you go. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Hope the weather's not too hot today then.
I'm actually in Thailand right now, interestingly. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's hot. It's still hot. Yeah. Okay, I feel like I've got like one more question left for you.
Okay.
So for individuals that are considering joining FanFunded, what's a piece of advice that you would give to them whenever they join the platform?
I have a couple pieces of advice. Don't bet more than you have or can spend for starters. That's for sure. Take it slow and figure out a strategy that works for you. My strategy has changed over time and I've adjusted it. And so if you're spending more than you can afford, you'll go into debt and don't do that. Take it slow. I don't mean slow in terms of the betting, in terms of like your betting strategy, but take it slow more in terms of approaching how you spend your money and use the site, spend what you can. And in terms of strategy though itself, I don't know. I don't if I give away my thoughts on it, then you guys won't be in business anymore. I
Fair.
mean, not that you won't be in business. That if it's success, if I'm right and it's successful, then too many people will replicate it, and I'd rather not share.
Hey, that's fair. We can all be a little selfish sometimes. Okay, so tell me about a time where you've placed some picks and it's just kept you sweating. You've been really antsy thinking about this pick that you made.
Actually, just now the Met game that just finished, my account wasn't doing so well, so I took a large bet on the Met to not score, or the game to go scoreless through three. And I don't know, it's always anxious, like well, betting in general, but also I think when you're betting for teams not to do anything, it's a little anxious that. And I think it's for me, it's more anxious than for them to do something because every time a ball gets hit, you're like, oh shoot, did he just hit a home run or something? So.
Yeah, watching every move. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm trying to talk to you and like peeking at my TV a little bit while the game's going on. So it's like I'm not even fully focused on the game. So I'm like I was a little anxious, but I was fortunate enough to win it. So
Here we go. We got good news on the call live.
there you go. Yeah.